Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. It's Jrod on point. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. It's 1:01 in the morning over here in Ohio. Very appreciate it. My name is Jrod on point. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out to Warren Label Nana. Thank you for being here. Thank you for passing. Thank you for passing by, showing some love. Very appreciate it. I mean, all of y'all. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I want to send a very special shout out to Speak Van Holding. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and having conversations about this case, which is not a new case, but it's a new case of discussion here in the channel, which we haven't covered this case in this channel yet. But I did look through it and I see a line of injustice here, and I think that it's good for us to have conversations about injustice within the system and those that pay the consequences of the injustice of the system. Again, anything handled or created by human always has a chance to fail or to be corrupted. As humans, we're not perfect, but when we have the duty and the power on our hands to serve others, it should be nothing but fair to whoever have that power of law, power of decision, to be fair, follow the rules, the regulations, non-biased. We could talk about bias pretty soon. We could talk about that tomorrow in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. Just to give you a little hint, as well expected, we have talked about this in this channel for the longest. It's in the Mr. Bill Thompson has been put on the Brady list for bias, which is expected. It's not a surprise. We have seen it in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case and the way he's been handling the whole case, in the way it seems like it's been some misconduct in the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger also, and that's just my opinion. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Hopefully we could have here tomorrow Warning Label Nana. Big shout outs to you. She has some notes to share with us about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case and some connections of 1122 Queens Road, which is the right proper address of the crime scene. Big shout out to Warning Label Nana. Thank you so much. We should have her, hopefully, crossing fingers. Big shout outs to her tomorrow to talk about the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. And it's an honor and I appreciate y'all to have y'all here with me today. Um, Due to that this case is more of prosecution misconduct. This is the state of Texas versus Karen Gaona. Karen Gaona is a young lady from South America. Came here to the United States looking for a better living. And unfortunately, it seems like she ended up being set up for failure and end up in the court system. And her lawyer and the powers to be having the fair opportunity to dismiss the case and send Karen to a program that either gonna welcome her to citizenship or to be sent to wherever she needed to be sent if that was the case. Uh, Big shout out to our brothers and sisters, migrants from South America. We know the struggle, we know the fight, but it's always good to do it all the right way and by law. Because situations like this, unfortunately, uh, when the system catch you due to the migrant status, um, unfortunate, we have a lot of racism here in the DOJ, in the Department of Justice overall. It's unfortunate to say, but while we believe that it could be justice, not necessarily is going to be what is being served for our fellow brothers and sister migrants. And it's sad to say that some example for some DAs, in this case, like the state attorney Danielle Uher, uh, again, big shout out to Speakbank Holding. Everything that I know about this case is the overview and overseeing of the conversation between me and Speakbank Holding, and our take and analysis of what we seen that is being a state attorney misconduct. Again, and I repeat, it's sad to say that we have to have um representative of the state, representative of we the people, state attorneys representing the state, the people. Is supposed to be more in the balance of fairness and the balance of due process. I'm gonna get to the chat. My apologies. I'm over here, focus, try to get it together. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. And unfortunately, those that represent the people is supposed to represent the heavy side of the justice is those that are actually committing misconduct while representing the people, while representing the state. It seems that they have some kind of trickery within DAs, state state defendant representation. It seems that they have like this trickery that as long as they see a case that they could either railroad to have more time and paid, more unnecessary time and paid, especially the paid side of things, especially the paid side of things. Because meanwhile, you put in all these motion, the unnecessary motions, all unnecessary paperwork. You sit here pushing a whole bunch of malicious paperwork. They allow this case to get longer. Again, it sounds very like the Idaho 4, but we focus in this new conversation, which is very similar. Speakman Holding, I spoke with him. I spoke with him during the week. My apologies, because this live stream was supposed to be during the week. But I have things going on at the house. I got family here, so I like to be a good host. I like people to sleep and be in peace while they sleep. Big shout out to the mother-in-law. Big shout out. big shout out to grandma. So out of respect to the lady, it's nothing but fair to take a little break, relax, chillax, everything good, and just have a little time to edit some videos and do some extra other work at the studio. And I did tell Speak by Holding about it. He was okay with it, no problem as always. Moving forward up to today. I did let him know that I was going live during the weekend, but again, the man is a very busy man. Um, the man is, all over the world. Big shout outs to him. Big shout out to Speak by Holding. Right now, he's traveling as we speak all over the world, undisclosed locations as we speak. And it's an honor for us to be collaborators and family members of a great, great man, great brother, great collaborator, Speak by Holding. Big shout out, big shout out. I also want to send a big special shout out to Holly Martin. Big shout out to the sister, collaborator, partner. Big shout out to Holly Martin. It's been some little times of struggle in the family. We stand by them and we pray for them to everything and anything that it might be going on their side of the fence. We pray for strength, um, early soon recovery, and hopefully everyone is in good spirits. Big shout out to our sister, Miss Holly Martin. Big shout out to Star. Big shout out to John. Big shout out to all of you. Thank you so much. And big shout out to all the family from Let's Talk with Miss Holly Martin. It's an honor and a pleasure to be part of the family. Thank you so much. Very, very appreciated. Again, big shout out to me, Conway, Warning Label Nana. I think they still on the chat. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. Thank you for being here. No, I think very appreciated those likes. I was really expecting in reality. Not expecting much of our audience. 27 likes. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Mikan, which is there. Um, Monitoring and sniping on ways. Snipers keep sniping. Big shout outs. Big shout out to everyone watching. Very so much appreciated. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting too much crowd because it's a new topic. Not everyone is being familiar with it. Um, Speakman Holding been pushing this topic for a while, which is he's handling personally. He's saying that he's gonna push some motions in Karen's Gaona's favor. That's amazing. The Speakman Holding is very very eloquent and very knowledgeable of the book of law, and he's able to help others actually bringing true crime to reality. And that's amazing that the true crime community could reach out to victims, all type of victims, because again, we got to recognize that it's different type of victims, victims from the system, victims from crime, um, all type of victims. It's some people that use victim mentality to to get the pity and people feel sorry of them, but it's some people that genuinely are victims, and to those we always give a voice and we always try to stand by them. And even victims that have passed away already, we try to always give them a voice, discussing and having conversations about their cases, which again, this is the majority of the cases that we discuss is like cases that we see unfair balance against the victims. Like again, it's certain things like when the victim becomes a victim, like natural cause or just destiny, like it was just what it is. But it's not fair when that demise, that death, or whatever, that victim perhaps has gone through. It comes from a person perhaps or human created or manifested that a human put in place for that victim to become a victim. Again, either from the system or either from a victimizer. We bring these cases to the light to have conversations with our community and stay connected. 1 second, please, guys. Big shout out to everyone that is listening. Give me 1 second, please. Yep. Big shout out. Daddy duty, of course, daddy duty. Mama Bear 2 cover. Big shout out to Mama Bear. My love to wifey. As always, teamwork. Make the dream work. Big shout out to everyone that has a full family or single family. Big shout outs to y'all. It's nothing but beautiful to be able to be part of our kids' life. Make sure to love and support your children, and as best as you can, try to always be there for them. Big shout out to everyone watching. It's Jrod on Point. Thank you for being here. So we continue in the conversation in the state of Texas against Karen Gaona. Karen Gaona is a migrant from down South America, from South America, that came to United States looking for a better living, looking for a better life, which is fair. And unfortunate, um, it got to the point that I guess someone, it seems like someone set her up. Someone set her up, and then this witness that set her up, for whatever reason, after Karen got locked up and whatnot, and it seems that whatever setup wouldn't work, whatever setup wouldn't stand in court. Obvious setup, I guess. I'm gonna tell you what. Sometimes either the legal, I'm gonna be very delicate in how I'm gonna say it, because I'm part of the Latin American family. Big shout out to all my Latin Americans in United States and around the world, and to our Latin families um all over around the world. But unfortunately, it's some kind of, I don't know if it's hate, or it's some kind of distinct. It's like a division between the Latin Americans, the Latins, the Latino community. They came here illegally, but became citizens, and it seems like the same people are the people that are literally hating on people that did the same thing they did to become United States citizens. Is hate, is Latino hate against Latinos. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't see the common sense out of that at all. Like, you're gonna come here to United States and you fix your citizenship status, right? But you came here to United States in an illegal way, right? So then with time you fix your status. You was lucky enough to fix your status and whatnot without being sent back, which is very unfortunate after you already crossed the river. Is sad, and I feel for those that took the trip, and by the time they get here is no way to fix the situation. That breaks my heart. Is families going through this, is children going through this, is senior citizens going through this, all ages, and everyone is doing nothing but looking for a better lifestyle, a better way to live, not worrying about what we're gonna eat today. That's essential. People don't understand how important is and how essential is, especially for the human state of mind, for the human mental health. It's very important for a human to not worry about what they are going to eat today. Is actually very worrying. Back in the days when I was a youngin, unfortunately, at some point, back in the days we was poor over there in Puerto Rico. Back in the days in the island, at one point we was poor, and we understood how important is to have something to eat. And for those that know what I'm talking about, big shout outs to y'all. Big shout out to one in level Nana. Big shout outs to you. Big shout outs in the hit different. Big shout out to one in level Nana. Thank you so much, very so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for showing love. Very so much. I appreciate it. Big shout out. and it hit different. Big shout out to one in the label then. Let me get back to the chat real quick. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out. Big shout out Amy Conway. Amy Conway told me that I should start making songs again. We could talk about that in some other live stream. I'm working in a little song right now as we speak. Thank you so much. And yes, she said my opinion. Yes, we're working on something. We're working on something. Warning label Nana is back. Hopefully she's still on the chat. Very appreciated. I get it. I have residence in Costa Rica. I do all the right paperwork. I appreciate you though. Thank you so much. And thank you for the insight though. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Very so much appreciate it. Thank you. Make sure that everyone comes and participate in the chat. I don't think that no one should be afraid no more about that evil witch. I think that little by little people will stop being afraid of participating in the chat because I know y'all watching. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Listen, as long as you watching, I don't care if you're in the chat or not. That give me the opportunity to express my presentation and show my expose. So I appreciate everyone that as long as you here, you listen, you don't have to participate in the chat. It's good. Listen, it's all good. The message is getting there, and that's all actually my A1 goal, which is getting to our community and at least sending a proper message about what we're talking about. Thank you so much for everyone watching. Very so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was the baby. You know me, multitasking, daddy-o, daddy duty, always. That for me is a pleasure to be a dad. It is, believe me, it don't matter what I'm doing, my wife and kids are always first. They will always be first in my life, and that will never change. That will never change. It makes me happy, it makes me proud, and they give me something to look forward for a beautiful, great future. You know, leave a legacy, leave an imprint in the world, making sure that when shit goes down, hopefully my kids be the ones that save the world if it's needed. Yeah, you heard me. Big shout out to the kiddos. Amy Conway said that she been there. Yes, like, and you see, it hit different when I remember that the grandma. I remember those days that she didn't eat, that she fast, she fasted that day, just because whatever little bit we had to eat, it was just enough for me. And I kind of like realized things like that. I was like, Grandma, did you eat? We could, I could share half with you. She was like, No, baby, I already eat. She lied to me. She was like, Baby, I already eat. I'm okay. You go ahead and eat. You eat your plate. And that type of love, not a lot of people know about that type of love because a lot of people are very selfish these days. A lot of people really don't think about, as we could tell in the way things have been going on today in these days, far as crimes in the United States of America. We have seen a high rate in crimes that they include families. That there is either mothers doing wrong to their children or children doing wrong to their parents. And it's very sad to see this increasing lately. Like, I believe this is post pandemic. If you ask me, I'm not saying, I'm not blaming the pandemic for this. I'm not blaming any type of whatever they give us to battle the pandemic, because again, is certain keywords that you mention them, and you know what I'm saying, the YouTube system, goes haywire and stuff. So we don't want that. We appreciate the partnership that we have with YouTube. It's very appreciated. Big shout out to Team YouTube. Very appreciated. Thank you so much for all the services. But unfortunate, a lot of brothers and sisters from South America, they take that long trip to come here to United States looking for a better living. And like Karen Gaona now being locked up in the American system while being while being a migrant, right? We have migrant status. Now she's in the system because someone within the Latino community, someone within her surroundings, set her up for failure, lock her up for whatever reason they thought of. They could be a reason for them to do that, which is no reason. Is no reason for anyone to lie about anyone and set them up for failure. Is unfair. Is not right. Like, you have to be really some kind of type of person for you to even think to set up another human being lying and locking this person up. And then after you realize that that's not going to work, then you say to the powers to be, the state attorney and whatnot, you tell these people a lie about this person. Me as a witness, I state and I certify that I lie about Karen Gaona, and I no longer want to go further with my intention. Soon as the witness said that to the powers to be, the state attorney, the state the state attorney that is representing the defendant, even the judge, when it's on record that this witness is backing out the case, and it's the only reason why Karen Gaona is locked up. Why won't you dismiss and send this young lady back to freedom? Why at this day today, this young lady, Karen Gaona, is locked up in the jail in Texas with migrant status, which unfortunately put her in disadvantage. It put her in a legal disadvantage by default, because in court already don't like you. In court, they already don't like you because he's like, well, you came here to United States illegally. You're already breaking the law coming in here. But then now you break the law besides breaking the law. So it's like they see you like, well, you broke the law to come here and try to look for a better living, but that better living end up being you committing crimes here. So now you on our hands. So now we take our time. Now they feel like they could do whatever they want with you. And that's unfair. That's not right. The legal system in Texas allow and enable representative of the people judges, state attorneys, all type of state attorneys, the ones that represent the defendants, the ones that represent the state, all those state attorneys, they should obey by the law. They should protect the oath that they made to protect the Constitution of the United States and their people and the rights they represent. You're getting paid handsomely for what you do, even when you, even if that day you are wasting your time, you are getting paid for you wasting your time. And that goes anyway, anywhere, that goes anywhere in United States of America. When the state attorneys are working the case, even though if in that day they not doing nothing about that case, but they put it in the books like, oh yeah, I needed to go and do this research and yada 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 yada. But you going to do that research, you was just going to go and eat on a restaurant, probably gonna go and watch a movie and then go back to your office, and then that was your research. You got paid for you to do that because no one tracking your movement, ain't no one know where you at. The state and we the people trust and believe that you are going to do your job accordingly. We're not expecting no state representative to be corrupted. We do not expect no representatives of the state, which is representatives of we the people, to become corruptive. We don't expect that. We don't sit here and think just, oh, I can't wait until the next one comes corrupt and everything they little itty bitty that they do, we calling shit up. No, we're not here doing that. But for us to call a case out, obviously it has to be oblivious. It has to be the type of case that is right there in your face, that everyone could see it, but it's hard to believe that the authorities cannot see that if a witness back out of a case, how can you not dismiss this case and send this lady to freedom? We're going to be talking about the case of Karen Gaona, the state of Texas versus Karen Gaona. Big shout out to our brother from another mother, Spick Van Holding. Yes, Amy Conway. It's a very, very sad case. It's very unfair. It's very unfair. You heard me with the with the yeah, you know what I'm saying? With the swagger tone. It's unfair down south. You know how we do here. All right, her. So yes, big shout out to Speak Van Holden. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna share with y'all Speak Van Holden first video on the Karen Gaona case. I want this to be an introduction to the case here on our platform because we're gonna be having conversation with Mr. Speak Van Holding about this case. He's gonna keep me updated. We're gonna make sure that we keep ourselves updated with this case so we could share with the community, and hopefully we have another topic to have conversations about. Because again, it's like I told you, I'm trying to expand my wings to different cases which we could see that our attention is needed, and those cases are the ones they're going to be talking about here in the same way the Kiely Rodni case in Idaho. For every case that we talk here is, you're welcome, Amy Conway. It's cases that we believe that it needs our touch, our attention, our conversation, our expose, our analysis, because it's unfair to a victim. And again, victims in this case could be a defendant, it could be victims they got murdered, stuff like that, victims they were missing or whatnot. But again, it's different type of victims within the court of law, within the system. Unfortunate to say that we don't have a perfect system, and I don't believe they will ever will. So unfortunate we have to sit here and have this conversation that sometimes a defendant is actually innocent, and it seems there is no one there to give him no type of help. That's why we send a big shout out and very appreciated Mr. Speakman Holding helping out a sister from South America that is looking for a better living here in United States. Karen Gaona. I believe the Speakman Holding is rendering great services not just to the true crime community, but also allowing the true crime community to reach out the public, and allowing and the public allowing the true crime community to help them, because this is the whole reason why we here in the true crime community is to help. So without further ado, let me share this great product, this great content, very informational, very precise, very well put together. Please let's give a round of applause to the legend Speak My Holding. Big shout out.
Danielle Uher, I charge you with a complete deprivation of effective assistance of counsel. And
Daniel Uher is the state attorney. Let's continue. Let me start that out real quick. My apologies. Just want to make sure that y'all know who he's talking about. Is Daniel Uher.
Danielle Uher, I charge you with a complete deprivation of effective assistance of counsel. And I also charge you with a constructive denial of effective assistance of counsel. Now, come walk with me, and I'm going to step you through this. Now, don't look surprised. Bring your jackass on. To this email.
Sometimes he used copyright music, so I wanted to skip that. Hopefully the copyright system don't pick it. No. Hopefully, crossing fingers. Big shout out to Speak One Holding.
Mail. This email was sent to you on March the 6th, 2024. And attached to this email is Karen Gaona's letters to you. But let's read the email. Good morning. My name is Theodore Simmons, and your client informed me that you have refused to carry out her wishes in representing her. She asked you to file a motion to dismiss the indictment due to insufficient notice of the charges in both felony indictments under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. She informed you that the indictments failed to state manner and means she allegedly committed these offenses. You told her that the indictments does not have to inform her how she allegedly committed these offenses. On the contrary, the indictments must spell out manner and means, otherwise she nor you can defend against the charges. Going to trial on such cryptic indictments gives the prosecutor free range in creating theories throughout the trial process, making it impossible to know what it intends to prove. Thus, insufficient notice of the charges violate due process and will no doubt cause you to be ineffective as counsel. Now, you can finish reading the rest of it, but it is sufficient that you was placed on notice by Karen Gaona, and this is her letters that I forward to you. So when we look at her letter, this is what it say. Good morning, how are you doing? She wrote to me, dear Mr. Theodore Simmons. Good morning, how are you doing? My name is Karen Gaona. I'm writing you because today, February the 21st, 2024, my attorney, Danielle Uher, came to see me at about 12:45 p.m. At the visit, I informed her that the indictments are defective because they failed to give sufficient notice of the charges. Specifically, both indictments failed to spell out manner and means of committing said offenses. Texas law also clearly requires that the notice of the charges must come from the face of the indictment alone. Rodni versus State, 28 Southwest 3D 56156, Texas Criminal Appeals 2000. I'm gonna go slow so we can just get.
Yeah, Amy. In another words, due to the charges wouldn't stand against her in court, instead of them moving forward to dismiss the case and send her back home, they move forward to trial. And then not just that, but her own lawyer, even though she knew that the charges wouldn't stick, her own lawyer, Danielle Uher, was to try to make a sign a plea deal. They will make her guilty of charge without no evidence. This is the type of stuff that they doing to not just migrants, but I believe that it's also other people that it goes through this type of misbehaviors in court, from the state attorney, from the state representative of Karen Gaona, and the court. Because if it's fully duly noted that the charges are not going to stand in court, and that one only witness is backing out the case, don't want to move forward no further, her state defendants, right? Danielle Uher, instead of her go for dismissal and send this young lady home, wherever that is, she tried to deceive her to plead guilty or something that she's not guilty at all whatsoever, but she's trying to scam the system and enlarge her check through her legal representation. In other words, she's scamming the system, not just being unfair against her client, but also prolonging her case supervision, which is not needed in the way she applying her services. Because she not just not properly representing Karen Gaona, but she also put emotions and doing court trickery to prolong her representation, scamming the system, scamming the taxpayer, which is another, we could see this also in the Idaho folk case. It's being unnecessarily prolonged, unnecessarily put in the back of the burner. In other words, squeezing the paycheck. Let's squeeze this paycheck even though we don't have a no-go. And in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, it's unfair for us, the taxpayer, in United States of America, and is also unfair on everyone that cross the borders to become participant of the American dream. As long as you are inside of these borders, whoever like it or not like it, as long as you are inside of these borders called United States of America, you should have rights to protect you, even though you have a migrant status or not. You should have rights. The Justice Department should have the interest of all. The Department of Justice should be the ones that make sure that the laws are applied accordingly. And it seems the Department of Justice is being run like a fraternity or a sorority. And that goes everywhere in the United States of America, because we see in a lot of places in the United States of America, like in the Karen Reed case and whatnot, and there's many other cases, Delphi, so long and so on. Many cases that we could see the discrepancy and prosecution misbehavior in all phases of the investigation and prosecution. We could see it. Is right there. Is right there. So how hard is to believe that at some point someone need to hit the reset button to the Department of Justice? Someone, I don't know if he's a president, a candidate for presidency. I don't think Kamala will do that. I believe Donald Trump will try, but they might railroad him too. It sucks to say that the powers to be don't want to let go of the court system, so the court system become fair for all, because they're gonna be the ones at the other side of the law. And I believe that's why they don't want to let go of the power that they have on the Department of Justice and the people that they have there. Because here's the problem. It don't matter which party it is. I don't care if he's Republican. I don't care if he's Democrat. But if you have spies, what he calls spies, is representative of of your party that are in particular positions of power in the government, and you use the same people that owns loyalty to you, and you manipulate their position for you to gain overpower or whatever decisions within that title, even though you don't run that title, but you have someone that will do whatever you tell them to do. That's infiltration. That's governmental infiltration. That's you injecting corrupted agents within the government, puppets that they will do everything you tell them as a political party. Again, that goes to Republican, that goes to Democrats. As long as you infiltrate your agents in governmental positions, because you know those people gonna do whatever you tell them to do, that's corruption. That not supposed to be allowed. Because you're supposed to put the people in place that is the people that will represent the interests of justice and the interests of the people, not the interests of whoever put that person in place. Within the system is the corruption. We're not talking about the system is corrupted, which is corrupted, but the system is corruptive, which means that you, as long as it's a human handling those interests, it's a 50-50 chance that it could get corrupted. We understand that. But the system has been put in place that if the people around these agents, the people around these powers to be, that recognize that the powers to be are infiltrating agents in particular positions of the DOJ on their behalf, on their benefit, because they own loyalty to that one particular party. Those other people that recognize that the powers to be, that's what they do, and it's up to them to take corrective action against the corruptive action. It has to be a remedy, because believe me, these people are not doing this without others witnessing what they're doing. But again, it's a lot of people within these political parties that are doing a lot of illegal shit just on the name of a political party, just to gain brownie points and cookie points with the political party. People within places of government, law enforcement, they will break the law and try to cover it when they do favors, or when they purposely are breaking the law for whatever purpose or reason that is. Let's continue.
Get the substance of it. Now, her letter to you back in February was instructing you to defend her against against two defective indictments in both of her felony cases. You refused to file a motion to squash the indictments based on insufficient notice of the charges under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. This is direct evidence that you are working with the prosecutor, as I stated from the beginning.
Welcome to the Datadog Application Performance Monitoring Demo. Datadog.
This brings me to felony indictment number F217-6370, compelling prostitution under the age 18. Pay close attention, Danielle Uher. I'm about to teach you principles of law and expose how you have failed to advocate for Karen Gaona-Villegas. That Karen Gaona-Villegas is hereinafter called defendant on or about the first day of April 2019 in the county of Dallas, state of Texas, did unlawfully then and there knowingly cause MPA person younger than 18 years of age to commit prostitution. Now, if you look at this indictment, it does not state the facts that the state would rely on to prove that Karen Gaona-Villegas allegedly subjected MP to prostitution. Let me put it another way. There's nothing in this indictment that places the defendant nor you on notice as to what conduct the district attorney, the state of Texas, is saying she did to compel MP to prostitution. This is a violation of Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution, okay? And that reads as follows in all criminal prosecutions. The accused should have the right to demand the nature and cause of the accusation against him and to have a copy thereof. And additionally, Article 21.04 and 21.11 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedures require that an indictment contain a degree of certainty that will allow the accused to plead the judgment upon bar to any other prosecution of the same offense. Now, why have you failed to file a motion to dismiss like Karen Gaona-Villegas asked you to back in February and March concerning insufficient notice of the charges? Now, let's get to felony indictment number 217-6371. The same problem is here. Let's get to the pertinent part. That carrying gun of vehicles is hereinafter called defendant on about the first day of March 2020 in the county of Dallas, state of Texas, during a period that was 30 or more days in duration, committed 2 or more acts of trafficking of a person by intentionally and knowingly trafficking MP, a person younger than 18 years of age, hereinafter called complainant. Causing complainant to engage in prostitution and become a victim of sexual assault. See, the problem is here again, how did she do this? Where are the facts that the state will rely on to prove that she did it? It's not here. Therefore, this indictment is fundamentally defective. In other words, had you filed a motion to dismiss the indictment based on what Karen Gaona was telling you, insufficient notice of the charge, it lacks matter and means, it would have been dismissed because such information is fatal to an indictment. Therefore, I have acquired the evidence, and Karen Gaona has acquired the evidence to show that you and every other low-life attorney on this case.
By the way, I wanna make sure that y'all know, because it's important for everyone to know that the state attorney Danielle Uher is trying to say that Speakman Holding threatened to her life, showing this clip of some guns and whatnot, and then some fake shots that's just sound effects. But then I want to make sure that y'all know that he said next time I'm not going to shoot in the air. Next time, and then he mentioned the legal procedure that he will apply in court. So he was utilizing an artistic metaphor, which is content. Okay, if you ask me, one of the best content in true crime, if y'all allow me to express myself accordingly. So he have a visual metaphors, which is artistic, and he implied and stated the next time he's not going to shoot in the air, he will do a legal court procedure to stand by Karen Gaona. It was never, for a fact, it was never a threat to her life. Let's continue.
Now sit down, Danielle Uher. The next time, I won't shoot in the air. The next time you try to run, you keep running from this, it will not end well. There will be no more bullets in the air. There will be a Article 1107 writ of habeas corpus. Now sit down.
You hear what he just mentioned right there? Listen to it real quick.
Now sit down, Danielle Uher. The next time, I won't shoot in the air. The next time you try to run, you keep running from this, it will not end well. There will be no more bullets in the air. There will be a Article 1107 writ of habeas corpus. Now sit down. Why are you doing this? No, the question is, why have you done this? She's a Mexican. She's an illegal alien. Who cares?
And you see, all this is artistic. This is artistical. This is all theater. This is all content. This is high value content.
Her family care, her friends care, I care, the United States Constitution care, American care. What can I give you? to not say anything. No, put your panties back on. We not finna do that. What is
that's all for commercial comedy, okay? That's all for commercial comedy. He don't mean it in that way. Okay, guys, let's keep it real. Okay, this is all theatrics. All right, this is the best content in YouTube true crime. All right, let's put it together and give it the proper perspective. All right,
that jumping up out of there? Put them back on. That's some type of bug or some type of varmint or something. Put them back on.
oh my God.
You can't wiggle your way out of this here. You can't sail your way up out of this here.
He said wiggle.
So let's get down to business. Now take a look at that screen and tell me what you see. Do you see that when Karen Gaona, your client, the defendant, asked you to file a motion to squash the indictment for insufficient notice, do you see that this was fundamental and essential to her defense in accordance with due process? So why did you refuse to do it? You know, I'm just trying to help the DA so I can continue to eat. What do you mean by that? Well, they tell us if we don't cross out our client, if we don't help them get convicted, they'll take us off the indigent list. Yeah, I know that. I understand.
Because what happened is, right, it's some corrupted court systems, right? The state attorneys, right, they represent the defendants, right? If they don't comply with the DA, you know, if they don't comply with the DA in the court to get a high number of convictions, they get taken away from those lists. Nine times out of 10, those lists of state attorneys that represent the defendants is a lot of favoritism. It's a lot of, you know, political incline within those decisions of who represents the defendant. So that's unfortunate and corrupted, because then now you have state attorneys that represent the defendant that actually are working hand in hand with the DA to literally have some kind of conviction, even though if the case have no findings. Let's continue.
Saying that. Anyway, she's an illegal alien. She's a Mexican. Who cares? Her family care, I care, America care. Our evolving standards of decency care. Justice is just for us white people. Really? I didn't know that, but I guess now I do. So, you are faced with a fundamental fact that we have the evidence to show. You refuse to advocate for your client. Let me ask you this here. If you go to court on September the 23rd, 2024, how do you intend to defend your client? How? You don't know what the DA is trying to prove. Furthermore, you know the biggest problem with this indictment, both indictments, because it doesn't give sufficient notice of the charge, the manner and means. We now know that these indictments didn't come from a grand jury, because the grand jury would have had to pass on the facts. They would have to know what facts constituted these two offenses. This is how we know that the grand jury did not act independently. Let me put it another way. Are you telling me that the grand jury found a probable cause that these crimes happened when there's no facts to show how this defendant allegedly committed the acts? No. That right there goes straight to the heart of probable cause anyway. It's not there. This is what you know, I know, and the prosecutor know, and the judge know. But because you say justice is for white people and that she's a Mexican, an illegal alien, she don't get due process because that's what you're saying. Because remember, there is no reason why you should not have attacked the indictment as your client asked you. Every attorney, every appealing judge would know that this is what you're supposed to do. This is a breach of your fiduciary duty. Now, you also sent your client a letter. Oh, you ought to be happy that you got a hard-working attorney. Man, your Karen Gaona don't even trust you. I've been schooling her and exposing you. Now, I'm going to close this video out. But before I close the video out, I want to let you know, Danielle Uher, we are coming for you with the full force of the law. We coming after the DA with the full force of the law. Because all the evidence shows that nobody ever subjected the prosecution case to an adversarial proceeding. There is no motions put forth for your client by any attorney to advocate a deprivation of a speedy trial. As a matter of fact, it took the DA 11 months to indict her. She was supposed to be indicted within 6 months. Her attorney failed to file a motion to dismiss, and it would have had to be dismissed, and they would have had to get a $50,000 bail back. See, this is a powerful demonstration that every attorney on this case was working with the district attorney to convict Karen Gaona. Welcome back to Speak Van Holden 247. If you like, subscribe, and share.
Big shout out to Speak Van Holden. Amazing work. We can't really man, we can't be more proud than what we are of being able to collaborate with Speak Van Holden in cases like this. I wanted to make sure that at least we have a good introduction to the Karen Gaona case. I wanted to come here for a little bit and have a conversation about it, make sure that the community understand that it's many cases to talk about. It's a lot of injustice everywhere, not just here in the United States, but around the world. You know, big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for keeping me company. It's so much appreciated. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, though. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Amy Conway too. Make sure everyone go and subscribe to Amy Conway. She's amazing. We appreciate you, though. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Amy Conway. Sniper, keep sniping. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for all the love and support that you give us all the time, unconditionally. Thank you so much. Thank you for always giving us your opinion. Thank you for always steering us the right way. It's very so much appreciated to have you with us. It's an honor. Thank you so much. I want to send a special shout out to Miss Holly Martin. Thank you so much. Very appreciated, man. Make sure that y'all go and subscribe to Miss Holly Martin. Make sure that y'all send some love to Miss Holly Martin. She will appreciate it very so much. You're gonna send her a coffee. you make sure you send some love to Miss Holly Martin. Make sure that y'all subscribe to Speak Van Holding. And make sure that y'all send Speak Van Holding a coffee to his Cash App. He's very, very appreciated. Now that he's traveling all over the world, I believe that that will help his cause. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Jrod on Point. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, become a member. We have sponsored packages available. Unlock everything that we have available on perks when you become a sponsor of this channel. And for all those that has the welcome package, make sure that y'all subscribe, and make sure you have your friends subscribing. Make sure you have your family members subscribing. Tell them to become a member too, because when you become a member, even though if you have the welcome package, you will unlock all the content in this page. All the content. The only content that we have available is the newer content. So all the content is on the vault. So if you want to gain access to the hundreds of videos and live streams that we have to offer, make sure y'all become a member, and tell whoever you know to subscribe to Jrod on Point. Is very so much appreciated. So thank you, everyone, for being listening. We've been here for a while. I think it's a good introduction for a topic that we're going to be talking about with Mr. Speak Van Holding pretty soon. Big shout outs to him. I think it's a good introduction. I came here because I really miss ya. I love talking to y'all, and I always look forward to have conversation with the true crime community. I miss y'all. I love you so much. And as always, your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the black sheep, is Jrod on Point. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the best decisions in your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself so you'll be able to love others. Take care of yourself, you'll be able to take care of others. As always, here, my love and support. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Amy Conway and everyone that he was here listening for the past hour. As always, we're going to be back here tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Idaho folk case. We're going to be having an update on whatever latest in that case. So make sure that y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to have more conversations about the Idaho folk case and many other topics. Have a good night, ladies and gents. Love ya. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
La que me tira a la guiña, aunque andes con su man, vamos a misionar.